Yeah, right now the show begins. We gon' bring it to the house for the home team. Big plays, big wins for the whole team. We gon' bring it to the house for the home team. We better ready from head to feet. Swinging into the right center field. Are you kidding me? It's time to go. It's time to go right now. Get ready.
From a mile high, we say, hi. Even the corniest of dads who love telling dad jokes, they have turned off their Apple TV. Welcome to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus, presented by ZipRecruiter. Today, the Colorado Rockies hosting the World Series champion Atlanta Braves, so we decided to roll in style, as Hunter Pence likes to do, on a scooter. Nobody was more excited, by the way, than Heidi Watney. Wait for it. Okay, you don't see it. She tried to show off with one leg. We're going to show off our vantage point from inside the Coors Field broadcast booth as we say hello once again. We have Hunter Pence, Katie Nolan, and myself, Steven Nelson. And Hunter, let's begin with Atlanta, because you look at the standings, you look at this team's record, 25-27, and gosh, doesn't that seem familiar?
It's kind of wild. It's the exact same record the Braves had last year on their World Series championship run. The only thing a little bit different is the Mets are kind of taking off a little bit more this year than they were last year. But 25-27, they have a veteran cast, and they know what to do. They stay neutral. Snicker was talking about it. They just do the same thing every day, and they know they have the talent.
And while the Mets do look and feel like a different beast this year, you're right, the focus for Atlanta is on Atlanta trying to come together. Now, Katie, last year they were able to overcome that sluggish start and the fact that they didn't get above 500 to the 6th of August. And they were able to overcome not having the most electric player, one of them, in Ronald Acuna Jr.
That's right, Ronald Acuna Jr. coming back this year from that ACL injury last year. He looks amazing, and I just want to say it is so good to see him play baseball again. He's hitting the ball, he's having fun on the bases, and if you heard anything about that injury he went through last year, it was tough for him. He struggled with thinking about, is it going to be worth it for me to make a comeback? Am I going to be able to do this? And we're seeing that he can, and it's very fun to watch him do this.
And we have to remind ourselves that we're still not yet a year out from that ACL injury, and he's already back. Now, Atlanta trying to be careful with him, but he's been raring to go. Now, there was at one point, Ronald Acuna Jr. was that young, new outfielder in Atlanta. That's not the case anymore, but there is another player who fits that bill. For more on him and his story, we send it down to Heidi Watney.
Yes, Stephen, just 3 short years ago, Michael Harris was graduating from Stockbridge High School in the Atlanta area. That's right, he was in high school 3 years ago. He was drafted that June by the Braves, and now here he is playing for the team he grew up rooting for. Now, he's also from the same hometown that Jason Hayward is from. Said he was compared to Hayward all growing up, and that gave him the confidence that he too can be a big league player. He said last Friday night he called his parents and he said, hey guys, I'm gonna need one of you to pick me up at the airport in Atlanta in the morning because I'm going to the show. What a phone call to make, right? Brian Snitker said he greatly improves their outfield defense. He already demonstrated that in just his second big league game last Sunday with a spectacular diving catch. And Snitker also said his arm is a weapon. He's just a natural in the outfield. And he said he hasn't even come into his man strength yet, meaning he's just 21 years old. He's still going to get stronger, Stephen.
Yeah, well, he's just 21. I'm 33, Michael, and I still don't have my man strength. How about the home team, the Colorado Rockies, Hunter? Started out incredibly well in the very tough National League West. Have kind of hit the skids of late, but we still got to highlight what C.J. Cron has done.
Absolutely. C.J. Cron has been a bright spot for this Colorado Rockies offense. They're second in the league in OPS, but C.J. Cron has been tops in the league in absolutely everything. He's had the potential for many years, and it's all coming together for him this year. You can see these home run swings. The swing is tight, the swing is balanced, and look at that pitch he just took out in Pittsburgh. That's incredible.
Yeah, C.J. Cron's having a fantastic year. He's fun to watch. A great guy who, you know, last year when they were talking about him, it was about moving him at the trade deadline. He's still here. He's on a home game hit streak currently, so we'll see more of that tonight, hopefully. And here's where he ranks in the National League. He's second in home runs, 14. I think 10 of those were here at home.
Yeah, finding a home, I think Coors Field certainly works. He hit one last night. Will he follow it up again here tonight? We'll find out the rest of the way on Friday Night Baseball. First pitch and lineups are on the way.
Delivery. That is the first strikeout for Cool. And he's got some swing and miss stuff going tonight.
This is a nasty slider.
strike 3. He went around. Cool strikes out. Bryce Harper.
7 strikeouts.
Boy, that's a good pitch. Chad Kuhl got a great start from Kuhl.
It's been a rough go for the Rockies rotation. 3rd worst rotation ERA in all of baseball. Getting the bad out of the way because I want to focus on Chad Kuhl. He's making his 10th start for the Rocks today, and he's been a standout. Let's look at StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. And Hunter, when you're facing Chad Kuhl, you got to get ready for a lot of
sliders,
Go.
because Chad Kuhl has taught me a new stat with his slider. He has a run value of -12, which is tops in the league with his slider, and you can see all of the strikeouts. And doing that at Coors Field says something because sliders don't break exactly the same in the altitude.
Yeah, so between Kuhl and Fried, if you're a fan of breaking pitches, then you want to lock in on this matchup. So this is what you just mentioned, Hunter, the -12 run value. And if you're like, well, negative, that sounds bad. No, it's like golf, this particular metric, being the best in Major League Baseball. So what is run value? If you've never heard of this stat,
Tell us. Tell us now.
Yeah, well, basically it means that here it is graphically. It measures the impact, there you go, of an event based on runners on base, outs, balls, strike count. So basically when he throws a slider, good things happen for the Rockies.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. That sounds makes
It's a new
sense.
stat. You
to
got to learn
someone.
these things.
Yeah, I guess.
our starting lineups are presented by MLB The Show 22. The Braves lineup features Ronald Acuna Jr. as a .333 average, 3 extra base hits, and 6 ribbies in his last 7 games. Acuna Jr. currently has an MLB The Show 22 player rating of 92.
Ooh.
As one would expect with Ronald Acuna Jr., one of the premier talents in all of baseball. Again, coming off the torn ACL last July, the 10th of the month in Miami, and it derailed at what was at the time an MVP caliber season. But as everybody in Atlanta knows, the rest is history. They were able to win their first World Series championship since 1995. So there's Chad Kuhl throwing his final warm-up tosses before he has to face Ronald Acuna Jr., Dansby Swanson, and Marcell Ozuna to start the ball game. Tonight's odds are courtesy of BetMGM. And at the total runs at 11. Look, you saw last night, 13-6 victory for Atlanta. Braves lineup pounded out 18 hits. Whenever you have a baseball game here at Coors Field, Hunter, I imagine as an offense, both offenses salivating a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, Coors Field is definitely an offensive stadium, and as a hitter, you definitely get excited to come here, and a lot of the pitchers can get nervous to come here. And Bud Black talked about it, that their pitchers don't shy away from the challenge of pitching at Coors, and it definitely is something that high-scoring games are a part of it, and you got to buckle up and get ready to play a good game.
There is Bud Black in year number 6 as the Rockies manager. Won a World Series in Anaheim on Mike Socha's staff back in 2002. Former National League Manager of the Year in San Diego back in 2010. First pitch ripped into left field by Acuna Jr. and we're underway on Friday Night Baseball.
I think we're going to see some hits tonight.
No hesitation from the Atlanta Star.
Seems like he was ready, not taking any time. One way to dodge the -12 value slider, well, get a fastball and hit it. That's what he did. Nice little line drive, low line drive here. Single to start him off.
And on base now for Dansby Swanson, the shortstop for Atlanta, who, like many players around the league, struggled to find a rhythm at the plate to begin the campaign, but he's turned it on the last month in a big way. He's got a 16-game on-base streak, during which he's batting .359 with a .914 OPS. There's some more numbers digest for Dansby Swanson during the 16-game run. Driven in 10 and he scored 10. The average at one point is at 172. He's basically up 100 points, just shy of, as he swings at strike one.
Something that's always exciting about Dansby Swanson, first overall pick for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Pretty talented player in college at Vanderbilt, I believe.
Vandy boys were in action today. Lost open the Corvallis Regional against the University of San Diego. USD I bring up because they're relevant, that program, to this game. In the Colorado Rocky dugout with Connor Joe, starting left fielder tonight, and Chris Bryant, who's not yet 100% ready to play. From Kojo to Lieutenant Dan's. Here's Cool with the 2-1. Tipped in the glove, strike two.
Those shadows are definitely something to be challenging, and that's another thing about Acuna is starting off with a line drive single, because it's going to be tough to see these first couple innings with that shadow. That was a good shot of it right there.
And with the other, conversing with the shadows, the sun there with Acuna Jr., you saw him kind of duck as he was running back, because looking at the mound, he's staring right into the sun.
Yeah, imagine being CJ Crone over there. If he fires a rocket, that's going to be tough.
Acuna Jr. with a lean on first. He was trying to time him up. He eventually got over it. He kind of came up from his crouch and said, "Fine, I'm not going." He was ready to go. Look, that's why he's laughing.
Get it.
Come on, man.
Freezing him over there. It can be tough on the legs to be, taking a lead for a very long time.
There he goes. Ground ball foul, third base side. Ran right through second base into center field like he was finishing a sprint.
And now you're gassed. It's the first inning in Colorado.
So he DH'd in Thursday's series opener after having a day off Wednesday. Was managing some general soreness after playing on the Chase Field turf there in Arizona, where Atlanta dropped 2 of 3. The soreness, to be clear, not the knee. Since coming back, there's the other parts of the leg. Perhaps the muscles compensating. Hunter.
Dr. Hunter,
do
you believe that's what's happening?
No idea.
Popped up by Swanson. It's going to drift out of play. It's the hamstring or the groin. So the things that have been bothering Acuna Jr. 8th pitch of this battle between Cool and Swanson upcoming. And you can bet Swanson's aware of all the strikeouts that Cool has on the slider. He's gotten sliders the last 2 pitches.
Acuna's getting his sprints, his dives, his dirt, everything. Get it out of the way quick. Still nobody out. Top of the first.
Cool taking his time to come home. Does so. Pulled to the left side. Off the glove of McMahon. Acuna Jr. will head to third base. Heads up base running. It's first and third for Atlanta.
Wow, and And he's holding the runner, Ronald Acuna, at first to get this opportunity for a double play, and just one of those tweener balls. He opts for the dive and just bounces off his glove, and now the Braves are in business. This is probably a hit because he's laying out there. Looks like Iglesias might have had that at short, but it still would have been a tough play to get Acuna.
Marcell Ozuna with runners on the corners. Taps the first one foul.
And they did rule that a hit. It just went up. So
back-to-back singles for Atlanta has them in business here in the first. If you were to look at this uneven start for the Braves, 25 and 27, again looking up at the 500 mark and up at the Mets in the National League East, just like they were in 2021. One of the areas of frustration, I guess you could say, would be the offensive production with runners on base, runners in scoring position. Now on Monday against Arizona, Atlanta's offense was 0 for 10 in risk situations. The next three, though, they've turned it on. 17 for the last 45, including a 9 for 19 effort in Thursday's game here at Coors Field. High fly ball, left field. Joe is coming in. Acuna Jr. tagging up. He thinks about going and then goes right back to third base.
that's a big out for Chad Kuhl right there. And I wasn't sure if Acuna was going to challenge, maybe because there's just one out. He's playing it safe. They got another opportunity to drive him in, but respecting the arm of Connor Joe and going to give Austin Riley an opportunity to drive him home. This is one of those tweener. Another look right here. It's going to take a good throw, but it's a little bit too shallow, just a little bit too shallow.
Brian Snitker. Snitton, year 46 in the Atlanta organization. Truly incredible. First and third, one out now for Atlanta against Kuhl. And Austin Riley takes ball one.
46 years. Listen, I feel old and I'm only 39. He's been working with the Braves for 46 years. And man, it's still fun to hear him talk baseball.
Yeah.
We could sit there and talk to him forever.
We talked way too much.
With both of these managers, Stitt and Buddy.
It's easy to do.
The day can get lost with those two. First base runner again has Kuhl's attention. And for Brian Snitker, he actually joined the club in 1977, an undrafted free agent. 4 years of minor league ball for Hank Aaron. The late great Henry Aaron hired him as a roving instructor in 1981. 2 decades in the minor leagues as a manager. Took over the helm, the big league club in 2016 on an interim basis. Had that interim tag lifted. Manager of the year in 2018 and now a World Series champion. And that grin from that win is still on his face. 1-1 count to Riley.
Ball.
You know, I asked him before the game when we were talking to him for too long if he felt like, you know, maybe they were being held to a really high standard this year as a team since they won the World Series. People are, you know, when they came out the gate, we're like, what's up with the Braves? And he said, yeah, but you know what? We earned that. You want that.
Yep.
We want to be held to that standard because we worked that hard to get there. So he welcomes it. And he says the guys do too.
Riley, a massive part of the 2021 success, finished 7th in the National League MVP voting. And there are, Hunter, you talked to a lot of baseball analysts, and they had him higher on their ballots, unofficial ballots, of course. Picked up his first Silver Slugger.
Yeah, you could definitely make an argument for Austin Riley being the MVP last year. Close top 5, 6 easily. Just an incredible year.
Swanson goes Riley misses. Coming home, Acuna Jr. He slides in. They got him at home.
And that'll be the end of the inning if they don't challenge this. If he's, what was the count here?
I think it's full.
All right, full count. I thought he was. This is going to be interesting because there's rules about blocking home plate as well, not giving him a clear lane. So that could be challenged as he blocked the plate.
We're kind of, I think there are some eyes looking at the Atlanta dugout to see what the coaching staff wants to do, if anything. Matt Olson is on deck. Now 2 outs, runner on second for Riley. The 3-2 from Cool. Misses away. So you saw that the knee of Elias Diaz come down on Acuna Jr. and the oven mitt that he was wearing.
Yeah, and it's tough to say. I know a few years they had a rule where they kept allowing. This was probably 5 or 6 years ago, and now he's feeling his shoulder. Sliding headfirst into home is extremely dangerous. You know, it was definitely a gamble, but the Braves had a big inning coming, a lot of pitches Cool's working with. So the rule might have changed the fact that the Braves didn't challenge that.
Acuna Jr. talking with Laz Diaz, crew chief there at third base.
It was an excellent catch and tag by Elias Diaz at home. That's an incredible play.
There's the veteran backstop. Now Matt Olson. The left-handed slugger. He's got 9 extra base hits and 8 ribbies his last 11 games. 256 on the year. Ooh, big cut. Line 1-2. The Atlanta native was acquired by the Braves the 14th of March, and that was the unofficial end of the Freddie Freeman era. And then inked an 8-year, $168 million extension.
And he has the ability to get so hot, and he's earned it. I've watched it for years. Just can catch fire, and all of a sudden in a month just hit 10 homers and without blinking an eye. You know it's going to happen at some point.
Monster campaign in 2021 for Oakland. Made tremendous improvements at the plate. Slashed his whiff rate by nearly 12%. That was the largest decrease in strikeout rate of any big league hitter.
Got a great eye. 33 walks already this season.
First and second for him. 3-2. Misses inside, and the bases are loaded.
Travis, what's up, dude? How are you? You too, man.
You can pick up the home plate conversations on the microphone around Trip Gibson, home plate umpire Luis Diaz, and his counterpart Travis d'Arnaud. He was in this spot last night. Bases loaded, and he delivered. Grand slam, one of 2 homers in that game. So a mound visit here in the first for Chad Kuhl, who's already thrown 24 pitches. This was Thursday. Yeah.
Oh, it sounded so perfect off the bat.
That was d'Arnaud's slam. You won't do it again. pulled by Cool. Ball one. Swanson on third, Riley on second, Matt Olson on first. Back-to-back singles started the game. Acuna Jr. and Swanson. Acuna Jr. was then put out at home, a little 2-4-2 play. Cool got a call to even the count. Chopper foul. Twelve for 52 lifetime is d'Arnaud with the bases loaded. That's the situation here in the top of the first. Cools 1-2. Popped up left field for Connor Joe to run in, and he's got it. Hung in the air forever. So no damage against Cool despite all the base traffic. Max Fried's turn to take the ball here on Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV+. Our starting lineups are presented by Emily the Show 22. The Rockies lineup features CJ Cron as a .343 average, 29 homers, and a .1092 OPS in 98 games at Coors Field since 2021. Cron currently has an Emily the Show 22 player rating of 87. And I believe just last week he hit diamond, the highest level. The way he's been going, you can understand why.
I thought you meant like on flights. I was like, us too, crazy.
Cron due up third after Connor Joe and Charlie Blackmon. Fried's first offering to Connor Joe in for strike one. 28-year-old left-hander has evolved into Atlanta's ace and one of the more underrated aces in all of baseball, to be frank. I'm not sure if he gets the run nationally that he deserves. And Hunter, how do you think he gets ready for games?
Well, I haven't heard it from his mouth, but from a friend I know, he learned a valuable little tool that he says Max Fried taught him, and that is get the scouting report of how you're going to attack the hitters tomorrow, and at night he'll pitch as himself on MLB The Show.
It's amazing.
Yeah, just the video game, just to visualize his success, and it's been something that he's used as a tool to like feel like he's already faced the batters and gain confidence. And as you can see, it was working with that curveball.
And so this might be what it looks like for Max Fried.
And I'm a big visualizer, and I never thought to use MLB The Show to go up and pump myself up, but I think it's just genius, and you know, it's just what an amazing thing, and it's a lot of work to do that. So, you know, like Snicker said, he's always looking to keep evolving and continuing to get better, and to put that kind of work in, it tells you he's doing everything he can.
And according to that simulation, it looked like he was visualizing a complete game. The way he was celebrating there at the end. Right now,
he's got in the video game, I think,
definitely
to pitch a complete game.
Especially here, he's got to contend with Charlie Blackmon. Fooled there with the 1-0. It's 1-1. Blackmon was 4 for 5 on Thursday night. Drove in a pair. He's actually hit safely in 16 of his last 18 contests.
Chuck Nasty.
That's right. Ground ball right side. Olson's going to do it himself. Let's check out Max Fried's repertoire. Thanks to StatCast, powered by Google Cloud.
And Max Fried's going to be working the four-seam up, the curveball down, and he's also mixes in a slider, changeup, and sinker. He's got the whole kitchen sink. That's 5 pitches, but a lot of four-seamers, a lot of curveballs, and he can mix in the slider as well.
She's throwing less four-seamers and less curves this year, and a lot more changeups.
Yeah, and that changeup in Game 6 of the World Series last year was quite a weapon. He was, like you said, he doesn't quite get the respect he deserves, but the playoffs last year, getting to the World Series, he was dynamite. I think the first start in the World Series, the Astros got to him a little bit, but he came through in Game 6 with that changeup, and he's been dealing with it ever since.
Ahead of Crone, 0-1. This is outside. Yeah, I mean, he had only thrown no more than 6 changeups in any start all year before that Game 6, and then he threw 11 such pitches at the vaunted Astros lineup in that World Series clincher. He's kept it going here in 2022. Some pain on the outside. "14 home runs for Crone, and as Katie told you off the top of the broadcast, 10 of them here at Coors Field. Won't happen here, though. Second strikeout of the first inning for Max Fried to get his offense right back to the plate. Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus, presented by ZipRecruiter. Coors Field, some weather rolled through briefly before first pitch, but the sun is out, as are the shadows. Scoreless after 1 full between Colorado and Atlanta. Bottom of the order for the Braves due up, 7, 8, and 9. And Arcia takes strike 1 as he's starting in place of Ozzie Albies. Be followed by Adam Duvall and Michael Harris II. Oh, look at. .28 pitch first inning for Chad Kuhl. He's trying to get this pitching staff on track. Colorado's given up at least 12 runs in 3 consecutive games. So the Rockies are trying to avoid joining the 1928 Phillies, Katie Nolan's second favorite team, behind the 04 Red Sox, and the 1901 Giants, Hunter's second favorite team after his World Series winning Giants. As the only teams in the modern era, which goes back to 1901, kind of an oxymoron, but that's okay, to allow 12 plus in 4 straight games.
I lost you halfway through it.
I know, it was too much talking.
It was too many words for me, but that's, my brain is bad.
Strike 3. Kuhl gets Arcia. It's time now for tonight's trivia question. I'm going to keep it simple, Katie.
Thank you so much.
Just ask Siri, what year was the Rockies franchise established? What year were the Colorado Rockies established? I'll give you the answer in a moment.
I feel like I feel like that's a trick question. I feel like it's a trick question. I feel like didn't established versus like first year of playing. Are they different? Yeah, right. See, I don't know. I don't know if they're different.
I don't think they are. No, maybe.
Surrounded by people who know more than me, so you could say.
I don't know the year. I should know it. I think it's in the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
90.
Would be my guess.
We'll give the answer in a second.
You stumped us.
I was close though.
Ah. Adam Duvall, I'll never forget his first big league camp. He came up with the Giants. Tremendous human being, hard worker, home run hitter. They brought him up because he had a great year in the minors, and they put him in the middle of the whole spring training. And they asked him, how many homers did you hit last year? And he had to stand there and answer, said he hit 30 homers in the minors in high A. And we all go, ooh. Marco Scudero goes, well, how much do you bench? He was just a good sport about it. And we, getting to know him throughout the years and watching his career, just an incredible guy.
Pulls one to the left side. McMahon retires him. All right, so let's answer a trivia question. A moment ago we asked Siri, when were the Colorado Rockies established? And the answer,
thanks, buddy.
1993 is when the team was formed.
Michael, have a good one.
It's a good year.
That's the modern era, right?
What, 93?
Yeah, it was. It goes back to 1901. Eric Young Sr. is a part of that inaugural roster for the Rockies. Michael Harris II finds right center field for a 2-out base hit.
How good has he been since he's been here, huh?
He's been good, and the Braves just keep bringing out this electric young talent. And it's quite impressive. But here's another one that's going to be exciting and fun to watch. From Georgia as well, as Heidi said.
So after Harris picks up a hit for a 4th consecutive game, the lineup turns over for Ronald Acuna Jr. Led off the first with a single, went first to third on a Dansby Swanson knock, and then was thrown out at home. Initial concern for his left hand, left shoulder. He was kind of up gingerly with it, but he's back in and swinging. Just a great throw from Brendan Rodgers to Elias Diaz.
The catch tag to me is one of the hardest things to do because that's happening so fast. He did it so calmly as well, Elias.
All out.
Shoulder looks all right.
We'll watch some more swings for him. A tip, strike 2. Just a rare talent. Going back to 2019, only 2 players in all of baseball have at least 80 homers and 60 steals. One of them is standing in the batter's box here at Coors Field, Ronald Acuna Jr. The other, Jose Ramirez of the Guardians. Harris on first. Cool, a strike away from getting out of the second. Coming into today, 32 of his 38 punch outs came on sliders. Let's see what he throws at Acuna. Runner going, foul ball.
Timeout.
Rockies infield shaded to the left side a second. Massive opening. On the right side is Cool again, checks the runner back to first. It's been a common thing for him in the early goings of this one.
If I'm not mistaken, Acuna Jr. hit one to right last night, so he could find that hole pretty easily.
Count 2-2 to the 2018 National League Rookie of the Year. Harris taking off, ground ball to third base. McMahon has it again. Second 5-3 of the second inning for Cool. Keeps Atlanta off the board. We're done with 1.5. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus is presented by ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And sponsored in part by Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you can save. And by Mattress Firm. Upgrade and save up to $400 on top-rated brands. Chad Kuhl digesting his first 2 innings of work. Atlanta's got 3 hits but no runs. Colorado sent down in order in the top of the first by Max Fried. Strikeouts of Connor Joe and CJ Cron. Now it's Brendan Rodgers, who is really heating up. No, he's not heating up. He's just hot. 20-game hit streak.
You love a hit streak, Hunter.
I love hit streaks. It's one of my favorite things to follow. I'm hoping one day someone can finally beat the streak.
Chops the 2-0 foul. So Wednesday, what a memorable evening it was for Rodgers here at home. This was a walk-off blast and home run number 3. Yeah, when you hit 3 bombs in one game and the last one walks it off for your team, you can send it to the moon. I mean, I'm actually a proponent of sending it to the moon at any point, but that's another conversation. Broke his bat and a ground ball to short. Easy play for Swanson. All right, let's send it back to studio where Lauren Gardner has some whip round coverage. LG, what's going on?
What's up, Nelly? We have all the runs, especially in the city of brotherly love. Check this one out. Bryce Harper goes yard for the 2nd time in this one. He wasn't the only one for the Phils. 10-0 in the bottom of the 7th in their first game in the absence of their manager who's dismissed, and Joe Girardi out to Cincy. Lane Thomas for the Nats with his 3rd bomb of the day. We now have an 8-2 score. Nats on top in the 8th. And how about this? A hard ball hit down the middle past a diving DJ LeMahieu. Yeah, the perfecto was broken up after 6 2/3 for Garrett Cole. Enjoy my hometown. Get the green chili from Santiago's, please. I highly recommend it.
Noted, LG.
Right.
Pride of the Rockies. As Fried is retired Daza on the ground out as well. So Jose Iglesias. Another hit streak for you, Hunter Pence.
And he's off to a hot start. How many games? How many game hit streak?
13.
When do you start caring, Hunter?
I think 10 games.
10.
So what's notable?
20 is really intense.
What's notable is that with Rodgers at 20 and Iglesias at 13. Fried's 0-1. Well, never start a story with 2 outs. Another 1-2-3 frame for Fried. Still donuts. It's National Donut Day. It's time for flashbacks presented by Dairy Queen. April 9th, 1993, the Rockies' inaugural home game at Mile High Stadium. The Rockies leadoff batter Eric Young. It's the first homer in franchise history as the Rocks beat the Montreal Expos 11-4. EY, now the first base coach for Atlanta, is up to bat here in the top of the 3rd inning on Friday Night Baseball. 5 years for the Colorado Rockies. You know, that game had some notable names in the lineup as Dansby Swanson waves at strike 1 from Chad Kuhl. Batting 3rd for Montreal that day was Marquise Grissom, now a senior. Juniors pitching for Georgia Tech. Grissom 2 years later, World Series champion for Atlanta. And you look at the Rockies lineup. Dante Bichette, we just watched Bo last week on our broadcast as the Blue Jays beat the Angels. Vinny Castilla, coaching staff. Now for the Rockies, we were talking with him outside the cage before today's game. Darrell Boston on the staff for the Chicago White Sox. Joe Girardi was catching, just relieved of his managerial duties in Philadelphia earlier today. And Dale Murphy wanted to save the 2-time MVP, back-to-back MVP in '82 and '83. He was a part of that game for the Rockies.
Something extremely special about getting to watch a father and a son play. Like, it just, when you see Vladdy Jr., Bo Bichette, like Ken Griffey Jr., those moments are just unbelievable. The family tradition in baseball, it's a family sport. Fathers, sons, daughters.
Good.
It's one of my favorite parts.
No question. Let's go down to Heidi Watney.
Well, Stephen, being a local kid from Atlanta, I asked Dansby Swanson before the game, what was the greatest thing he experienced this offseason, having won a world championship in Atlanta? And he said, well, I kind of have to say, it's getting engaged. He's engaged to U.S. women's soccer star Mallory Pugh. I asked him who's more competitive, him or her. He said, she probably is, as he beats out this grounder here. He said she probably is. He said for the good of the relationship, they decided they needed to be on the same team. Mario Kart, he said, is the source of the biggest fights in their relationship. They're getting married next December. Basically, he gets 2 rings in 1 year. And look at them celebrating the World Series championship.
Thanks, Heidi. Yeah, just a tremendous moments, as he just told us, for the soon-to-be Swansons.
Mal Pugh from Littleton, Colorado,
Yeah.
actually. And she rules. Man, does she rule. What a cool sports couple to root for.
Just winners. And Dansby, well trained on that answer.
Yeah.
He's a smart man. Now he's on first again. Marcell Ozuna.
I can relate to the Mario Kart issues.
You and Lexi have problems?
Not exactly, but she definitely gets on to me for being too competitive.
Did you power slide?
Oh, baby, I'm like, what is it? Tokyo drifting all over the place.
Yeah, it's that, sure. I think it's just called power sliding.
We're drifters.
It's hack foul. Cool in front of Ozuna 0-2.
Yeah, I'll take it. Thanks.
Good crowd on hand here, Colorado. Folks still trickling in this Friday evening. Cool, going to try and put Ozuna away with the 0-2. No, he's going to go back to first again.
Something that's really impressed me with Cool is how calm his demeanor has been. He's had a lot of traffic. He's had some high stress innings, and he just hasn't been phased. And it hasn't, it hasn't looked like it's really affected him. Just keeps attacking. Really impressive watching him work.
Skied high, left side. It's going to drift back behind Atlanta's dugout. For Cool, there was plenty of interest around the league this offseason in him, but it was important to the right-hander that you get a chance to start, and that was something that the Colorado front office and coaching staff in their pitches to him made clear from the get-go. We're going to give you a chance to have the ball.
That was a good decision.
I mean, in both ways, because if not for Chad Kuhl and Ryan Feltner, who knows how bad things would be for this Rocky staff. Those are the only 2 Rocky starters with a sub-4 ERA. And Feltner, he's only got 3 turns to his 2022 resume. Yeah, suboptimal, bottom left.
Man. Count has been 0-2 for a minute.
Foul ball, foul ball, foul ball. Fighting. The Braves lineup, they give you tough at bats, and they're working. Obviously they haven't scored. They had that first inning play at the plate, but working the pitch count can be huge for a baseball game. Compound interest is what we like to call it.
How compound interesting.
How compound interesting. Every at bat, you build a house brick by brick. You build a good game pitch by pitch. A lot of hitters meetings. A lot of hitters meetings I've been a part of.
No, I was just going to say, you have some conversations with Hunter Pence. You'll pick up some gems you never heard along the way.
And some you have.
And some you have. But we love them all the same. HP. Still 0-2 on Ozuna. Make that. Another strikeout for Chad Kuhl. Second of the evening.
And right here, he kind of just front doors him, just believing in his slider. That is right down the middle. Challenge pitch. He's definitely got the shadows. Look at the, you can see the ball right there. It's bright and then it's dark. Just disappears. Ozuna just misses it. Right on time, but Kuhl wins that battle.
Austin Riley tried to get after the first pitch, but he missed on it.
And it didn't look like Ozuna saw that ball very well. It didn't look like his head was on it, which can happen when you're battling shadows sometimes. So who knows? But
Austin Riley last year became the first Atlanta hitter in 18 years to hit 300 with 30 home runs and 100 ribbies. Back in 2003, a pair did it. Javi Lopez and Gary Sheffield. Before that, the beloved Chipper Jones there in Braves country. Swanson taking off for second. Diaz's throw down. The tag put on him. Rogers and Diaz hook up the other way for another outstanding putout.
this is one of my first times watching Elias Diaz work behind the plate, and it is impressive. Just quietly, he's got an arm. He's handling Chad really great, receiving well, and throwing him out, tagging him out.
Perfect throw.
Perfect throw.
That wipes the bases empty, and then a ground ball to Iglesias. Still nothing. Still waiting on a run here at Coors Field as we are ready for the bottom of the third. So you look at Brian Snitker's rotation and how the year has looked. The top four starter. Kyle Wright has been a breakout pitcher for sure. We got those four horses established and just trying to figure out who slots in after that. But you definitely know who's at the front of that car, and that's this lefty Max Fried. And I said it earlier, one of the underrated aces in the game.
Looks like he's glowing right there. Love that shot.
Magic hour.
Since the start of the 2020 season, only Adam Wainwright and Garrett Cole have more wins than Max Fried. Fried has 26. The other two have 27. Now I know pitcher wins don't mean as much as they used to, but I still think, Hunter, that if you're in any clubhouse, you like the idea of having a win day. When you have a starter who goes out there and you know he's going to put you in an amazing position to win a game. And that's what Max Fried does.
Yeah, it matters to the players, and I know a lot of the stats don't say anything, but I think it's a reflection of the competitor. And obviously you don't, everyone, but he's elite, and you feel like you're going to win when he takes the mound. And when you have those guys, it just makes it exciting to come to the ballpark.
And perhaps it's because he is so understated that he doesn't garner as much attention as his talent and production warrants. But I think Max Fried's fine with that. And you see him field his position. He's got a couple of gold gloves in his trophy case. Now Randall Grichuk.
Grichuk knows a thing or two about being an elite pitcher.
That's true.
He had a 1-2-3 inning the other day.
And he's been asked in coaching staffs for years to have that chance, and finally got one.
I love when a position play. I love that. It's my favorite. I know there are people who don't like it, but I love it. Oh, good. We have footage. Let's look.
Look at it. He's giddy.
A little cut action there. Look, curveball, curve pitch.
I mean, Albert Pujols didn't do that. 1, 2, 3.
That's right.
A lot of people don't do 1, 2, 3. Some of the best.
Yeah. Skrichik, former Cardinal and Blue Jay, was acquired exchange for Raimel Tapia. So now in his first year with the Rocks. Fried put it by him 2-2. That slider from Max Fried's picked up some velo compared to last year. Let's see the decision for the 2-2. Pulled foul. Now I mentioned how Garrett Cole, one of the 2 pitchers having more wins than Max Fried the last couple of years. Garrett Cole was perfect through 6 and change tonight at home against Detroit. Jonathan Scope broke up the bid for perfection in the 7th. In a game that the Yankees now lead 12-0.
That's too bad.
Chopper right back to Fried.
And I mean, Fried is working quick and amazing. He grew up in LA idolizing Sandy Koufax. And here's the pitching comparison. We got a nice little shot here.
Wow.
Would you look at that?
Would you just look at it?
That is a thing of beauty. He's got a lot of Sandy Koufax in him and cruising right now.
Sent the first 8 Rockies down in order. That streak will continue as Diaz flies out to Acuna Jr. on the first pitch. You know what he's doing. I just can't say it yet. It's been 9 up, 9 down for Max Fried. Not that easy for Chad Kuhl, but the results have been the same in that it's still a scoreless game as we begin the top of the 4th inning here in Denver, Colorado. It's Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus, presented by ZipRecruiter. I'm Stephen Elson, sitting next to my friends Katie Nolan, Hunter Pence, Heidi Watney roaming the grounds here at Coors Field. Matt Olson takes the ball from Kuhl. So the first 7 Atlanta hitters to face Chad Kuhl, just 2 saw first pitch strikes, but the last 7 before this at bat against Olson, he was getting ahead.
A lot of times it just takes, it could be a timing thing, it could be getting into a rhythm, and today just catching his rhythm a little bit later. We're pitching his way out of all of the jams and pitching a good game here so far.
See the shift on for the lefty Matt Olson. Olson was here last year during All-Star Week, participated in the Home Run Derby, was my pick. And you know what? He let me down.
Wow.
I'll forgive him for it one day.
When?
Didn't he lose to Alonso? He hit like the second most homers in the first round, and like Alonso was just like insane. So
he had 23.
Yeah, it was the second most, and he got sent home quick.
It's just a bad matchup.
Alonso he's a home run derby monster.
He's built for it. There's a ground ball, kind of rolls off the mound.
I got your new Chad.
Heidi Watney caught up with Bud Black for a manager interview presented by ZipRecruiter.
Your pitcher, Chad Kuhl, he's had a lot of traffic on the base paths, hasn't given up a run yet. What are you seeing from him?
Well, they've had good at-bats against him for sure, spoiling a lot of good pitches. He's made a couple good pitches when he's needed to, but his stuff's good. Pitch count's a little high. We got hopefully a couple quick innings here.
Diaz has been fantastic behind the plate, made a couple great defensive plays as well. What'd you see on that play at home?
Well, good exchange. Brendan made a nice play here with a good strong throw. Elling with a good block and a good tag. It was a really, really good play.
What do you guys need to do to get to Max Fried?
He's got good stuff. He's beating us with the fastball a little bit now. We got to get on the fastball.
All right, thanks, Bud.
Thank you, Heidi, and thank you to Bud Black for offering some time during the game. Yeah, look, easier said than done. Getting to any pitch of Max Fried the way he looks tonight, and really the vast majority of the time. Travis d'Arnaud flew out his first time up. A 3-for-5 effort last night. We showed you one of his 2 home runs being a grand slam as he drove in 6 and scored 3 times. As Atlanta has a nice little catching duo between Travis d'Arnaud and William Contreras.
Yeah, Contreras is off to an insane start. Something like 7 home runs and 61 at bats. But Travis d'Arnaud, everywhere he goes, is in the playoffs. He just does everything right.
Well, soft line out. And there is William Contreras, and he's nice enough to wear a mic for us tonight. Here's what he had to say during the last at bat of Travis d'Arnaud.
Back-to-back grand slam. Ay.
I don't know if William was able to see the predicted probability stats in the bottom right of the screen that will pop up. They're there throughout. The odds are low on a grand slam and back-to-back plate appearances. CJ Cron calls off cool. 1-2-3 frame for the Rockies starter. If you like pitching, you like this start here in Denver. Top of the order due up for the Colorado Rockies. They're sent down in order by Max Fried in the first. And Fried by inning, he's got 11 pitches in the first, 7 in the second, 11 in the third. 20 of his 29, 4 strikes. Connor Joe is one of his 2 strikeout victims. And if you're not familiar with the Colorado Rockies, there's so many guys on the roster who are easy to love. I'm not saying Atlanta doesn't, but just stories and journeys that you can appreciate. And Connor Joe at the top of that list. He's a first-round pick for the Pittsburgh Pirates in 2014. Didn't really get it going in the minor leagues his first few years. Was then traded to Atlanta. Then traded to the Dodgers. Made his big league debut for the Giants in 2019. And then in spring of 2020, during a routine spring training checkup, he was diagnosed with testicular cancer. And with 3 months of chemotherapy, and in August of 2020, received a cancer-free diagnosis. Signed a minor league deal with Colorado, tore up AAA, was called up, hit a home run on the 1-year anniversary of that cancer-free diagnosis, and here in 2022 has been one of the stars of this Rockies group. There it was, July 20th. Kevin Millar and I had him on Intentional Talk on MLB Network earlier this year, and he was very open about what that moment meant to him, his wife, his whole family. 'Cause with that wretched disease, it's not just the one person going through it. It's, you know, it's the entire support system around him, and he said it was maybe tougher on them than it was on me.
I can imagine that gives a lot of people going through something similar something to look up to. It sends a message. And thank you, Connor Joe, for being you. It's amazing.
And battling here against Max Fried, trying to get something going for this Rockies lineup. Yet to produce a hit tonight.
And Connor Joe can battle. He's got some at-bats. I mean, he will make you throw pitch after pitch. He will wait till you make a mistake, and then he'll crush it, or he'll take the walk.
And he's terrific with 2 strikes. It's a tough one to put away, as Fried did to him in the first.
Outside.
Look at him doing it right there, Katie. He's battling. This is one of the at-bats, second time through the lineup, and Max has got everything working, but an at-bat like this can set up a good inning.
First 3-ball count tonight for Fried. You see where Connor Joe stacks among the National League leaders in 2-strike hits. Third behind Paul Goldschmidt and his teammate C.J. Cron. Number foul in the 8th pitch of this AB.
And this is big for the Rockies offense because Fried hasn't had too many deep at bats. He's just been getting quick out, quick out, quick out. Connor Joe setting the tone right here.
Sequence from Fried and d'Arnaud. Shot to the other way. And there's the first hit of the ball game for the Colorado Rockies. Connor Joe extends his on-base streak to 30. So now we go back down to Heidi Watney, who caught up with Brian Snicker for another manager interview presented by ZipRecruiter.
Snit, your starting pitcher's been about as good as he can be. What's been so effective for him?
I think he's just got everything going. Throwing some good changeups. Slider's been good. His fastball's jumping out of his hand. It's just been really good, and he's been spot on.
On that play at the plate in the first inning, did you think about challenging with Acuna coming home?
No, it just our guy said the throw took him into the line where there, and he never got the play.
You guys have been really aggressive on the base paths. Was that a game plan going into this one?
No, not really. I mean, they kind of just taken what they get, what they give us. So, I mean, that was one right there. They made 2 good throws. Thanks.
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Snit. And he's going to like that. Bouncing back after the base hit. Max Fried gets the double play ball. Bob Black waiting for his signal.
Yeah, this was a close play.
They want the headsets.
They want the headsets. Yeah, it looked like Charlie might have beaten that close. Yeah, I think he gets in there. Hustling all the way. And that's big because if Max Fried, the way he's cruising after that Connor Joe at bat gets a double play ball, you're back into another potential quick inning. And just staying on base, continuing to work his pitch count gives you a great opportunity. So big hustle right there from big Charlie Blackmon. Superb beard, superb hair.
Superb human.
Yeah.
Superb human.
So we got a replay review powered by Mitel.
Yortel?
Yortel. Laz Diaz, crew chief.
I'm going to take advantage of this time to give Katie some love because she called that Connor Joe was going to get the Rockies started, and he did.
Oh, thanks, Hunter. Thank you so much for the credit.
Katie called it.
Elsa.
She called it. She hasn't made too many calls, and you called that he was getting a hit.
The call is overturned. The runner is safe. Colorado retains its challenge.
All right, so instead of a GIDP on the scorecard, just a little FC, fielder's choice. Joe back to the dugout, and Charlie Blackmon on first for C.J. Cron.
I also called that. I'm not trying to. I'm not going to
called-
go on a run about this, but I did.
Well, you had the other calls. You said you weren't going to do it
I'm done.
publicly, but
No, that's it. I'm done.
it was a private call.
These are for me, you know. Not here for the
Until
glory.
they're right, and once they're correct, we'll tell you.
I'm here for love of the game.
C.J. Cron, I think, was expecting something else.
The shadows are clearing up, and so potentially, everyone's going to start seeing the ball a little better. Who knows how that plays out? But now it's a much clearer view for the hitters. That's for sure.
Great look from our crew showing you the views at Coors Field. Tap to the left side. Fried. Gosh, he fields his position well.
You can see why he's winning Gold Gloves.
Yeah.
You're throwing so many ground balls to yourself. That opportunity. But
Just a great athlete. Not only does he field well, he can swing it. Silver Slugger. Not going to have those for pitchers anymore, but he's got one.
every time I did that, I'd always come into the dugout and be like, guys, it's not carrying to left. I was the master of
Even at altitude.
you gotta make, you gotta have a little
Totally.
fun. It's okay. It happens.
Brendan Rodgers sends the first pitch to second base. All right, so the leadoff base hit from Connor Joe doesn't hurt Max Fried or Atlanta. We're through 4 full on Friday Night Baseball. Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus, presented by ZipRecruiter. Red Rocks, the amphitheater, Morrison, Colorado. I've never been. Have either of you?
But it's on my bucket list.
Is
that tomorrow?
What, Red Rocks? I think that's every day, bro.
Every day.
Defense, Katie Nolan, Steve Nelson here in the booth. Heidi Watney on the field. First pitch swinging for Duvall, and the line out to Iglesias at short.
Chad Kuhl and the Rockies will take that hard hit. 1 pitch, 1 out, though. Quick innings, as Bud Black asked for.
Now Michael Harris the second. Didn't have a ton of time to talk about him. His first appearance as he singled in the second. Was called up last Saturday from Double-A. Top prospect in Atlanta system. According to MLB Pipeline, the number 59 prospect in all of baseball. Just 21 years old and a hometown kid. Grew up a diehard fan of the team. Played wiffle ball at Turner Field, former home of the Braves. Played some high school games at Truist Park. But if you've never been to Truist Park, it's a fun place to watch a game. It really is.
I've never been.
It just even for like taking a kid there for the first time, the entertainment, it's the stuff between innings. I'm a fan.
I'm a big fan of the neon green lizard skin bat grip.
Huh.
Talk about it.
Well, that was my color. That's the go-to color. Oh, Ronald Acuna's got all the yellow. I don't know what his bat grip's kind of the red, but the neon green just was good for me.
All right. Tip strikeout for Chad Kuhl. And if you want to know what it's like to strike out.
And this is a curveball. This isn't the slider. That's a big boy curveball, perfect location.
Oh, Hunter.
Hey, look.
Got him.
Oh, no.
No way that was a strike.
That was at my face.
Yeah,
and it wasn't.
I told everyone on the phone call on Wednesday. I was like, yeah, his slider, I face it. It's not fun. It can, as you can see, yeah, it's pretty.
What did you? All right, so you said on little tappers fielded by the pitcher on the left side. You said, oh, it's not carrying the left. What did you say to your teammates after that punch out?
Well, nothing. I got nothing.
That was a quiet one.
Yeah, let's take a look at it again. I don't think I saw it enough.
Yoink.
Oh, boy.
I ain't gonna make fun of you, man. I don't know what it's like to be in that batter's box and see that. I don't know how anybody hits a baseball, period, to be honest with you. But especially when you got a pitcher who has command of breaking stuff like Kuhl did there. Seen it tonight, him and Max Fried.
That was nasty.
Cunha got to Kuhl in the first for a base hit. And grounded out in the second. For Michael Harris II, as he grew up a fan of the team, one of the moments that comes to mind that he loved as a fan of the team was when Ronald Acuna Jr. in the 2018 NLDS against the Dodgers at home at Truist Park hit a grand slam off Walker Buehler in what was a must-win game.
I think a fan said if he hit a grand slam, he was going to get a tattoo of Ronald Acuna on his arm.
Those fans are on a different level. So there we flash it back off Walker Buehler.
98.
Top of the zone. Bye. Ozzie Albies said that he called it before it happened. 3-2 from Kuhl. Foul back again. So as that was one of Harris's favorite moments as an Atlanta fan, I would also add that that was one of the most electric moments I've ever witnessed in person. I was covering that series for MLB Network in the park, in the auxiliary media area in left field. It's locked in on that baseball. Locked in.
What camera work?
Former one-man band, local news.
That's right.
Acuna Jr. skies it high in the air to right field. Randall Grichuk got a beat on it as Acuna Jr. slams the bat. 1-2-3 for Cool as he's matching Max Fried. Time for the bottom of the 5th after this. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus is brought to you by SoFi. Bank, borrow, and invest all in one app. And sponsored in part by Oris, a 118-year-old independent Swiss watchmaker setting the new standard. And by Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. Max Fried gets a call down and in for strike one on Daza.
And I love the question. I believe you asked Stephen Bud Black, Jonathan Daza, who's his comp? And he said Placido Polanco. And watching him choke up here, obviously he's got a great start to this season, but choking up, good right-handed, stays through the ball.
Black lauded his bat to ball skills. Put the bat on the ball, but sent it right to Ronald Acuna Jr. Download the MLB app to get video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and more for your favorite team and the rest of the league. And suit up this summer at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic caps, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. Outfit the whole family with your favorite team's gear at MLBshop.com. So now we want to welcome everybody who is watching the Yankees and Tigers game on Apple TV Plus. It was a 13-0 shutout win for the Bronx Bombers, who improved to 37-15 on the year. Melanie Newman, Chris Young, Anna Kaiser, Brooke Fletcher on the call there. And here you're stuck with me, Stephen Nelson, Katie Nolan, Hunter Pence, and Heidi Watney.
You're welcome.
It's an honor to be stuck here with you and Katie Nolan, Steve.
Thanks, love you, pal. Candelita, Jose Iglesias shoots it foul. Since 2019, Iglesias has suited up for 5 different teams. Cincinnati, Baltimore, the Angels, the Red Sox, and now the Rockies. Ground ball, bounce over Fried, scooped up by Arcia, and he throws him out.
Fried's just been getting a ton of ground balls, and really not just one pitch doing it, because he's, it's a lot of four-seamers, and it's just jamming a lot of these Rockies hitters. Right here, another ground ball, well placed up the middle. Arcia. It's got some shortstop activities.
He's used to it. That's where he played a lot in his career, Arcia. Ryan McMahon, the only person standing between Max Fried and another 1-2-3 frame. And he's going to get it. Max Fried is a superstar, and I don't care who hears me say it. Chad Kuhl's been pretty good too. He's back up after this.
Welcome back to the Mile High City. Here we are in Denver, Colorado, which is exactly 5,280 feet above sea level. It's Braves and Rockies. We are still knotted up at 0. And I am actually sitting a mile above sea level. There are 865 purple seats around a ring in the third deck here at Coors Field, and they represent exactly a mile above sea level. Denver's the only major city that sits at this high of an elevation. And I've got to say, guys, I might not want to go back down to the field. It is gorgeous up here. I just watched the most beautiful sunset. This ballpark is fantastic, Stephen.
She's not wrong.
It's
this
beautiful
is a
there.
beautiful park.
Did we lose Stephen?
We might have lost him. He's coming back. Katie's saving him.
Okay.
I missed
Hunter, did you like playing here at Coors Field?
I loved playing here at Coors Field as Dansby Swanson rips a single up the middle. But yeah, I mean, the altitude was wonderful. It was great hitters park, but the running around in the outfield was a lot tougher. So I loved it here. And here you can see Dansby gets fastball, drives it right back up the middle, just past Iglesias. There you go. This brings up Marcelo Zuna with nobody out, runner on first, 1-0. Working to get Steven back. Steven, are you back?
Yes.
Hey!
Thanks to the teammate, Katie Nolan, offering up her headset. Some technical issues here in the booth. After Dansby Swanson gets his third single, Chad Kuhl gets a double play ball from Marcelo Zuna. Personally, I think you were doing great on play-by-play, HP.
I mean, I wasn't doing anything except for one pitch, and now you're back.
I think maybe Atlanta fans are saying maybe take the headset off, because once you put it on, then there was a double play. Rockies fans would then lobby me to keep the headset on.
I don't blame them. It's just one of those things, you know. I like the neon green, bat grip. They might want me to do the play-by-play because they got a single with no play-by-play. Whatever it takes, as we would say. But what a pitching matchup, huh, Steven, between Max Fried and Chad Kuhl, as advertised.
It's especially noteworthy given the opener that we saw last night, in which these two teams combined for 19 runs on 31 hits. And here we are in the top of the 6th inning. We have no runs on 6 hits.
There's a saying in baseball, same teams. Same guy. You can hit like the biggest homer in BP or something, and then you roll over the next one. Same guy. Baseball's crazy.
Kuhl approaching 100 pitches. Riley, shallow center field. Charging is Daza, and he dropped it. It was in his glove until it wasn't. Checks for the hole. That's never there. And now just has to shake it off quickly.
Yeah, and just one of those ones. He's look how far. He's got a long ways to run here. So you're full speed. There's a lot of bouncing going on. It looks like it just catches the heel. Ooh, just kind of clips. What is that? Catch the heel right there? Yeah, just.
Chad Kuhl.
Clapping.
Oh, no. Okay.
Here we go. We're going to pitch again.
He's going to hunker down against Matt Olson. Olson, the latest in big-time acquisitions for Alex Anthopoulos and the Atlanta front office. And you think back to last summer, there were a lot of folks around the game who thought Atlanta should move some pieces away. Nope, went the other way. Brought in Jock Peterson on the 15th of July. He brought the Pearls and then eventually some Jocktober moments. Then on the 30th, brought back Adam Duvall for another stint in Atlanta. Eddie Rosario and Jorge Soler. Duvall ended up being the National League RBI leader. Rosario, the NLCS MVP. Soler, the World Series MVP. And then this spring, Matt Olson takes the 2-1 to left field. Joe has to jump up and get it as he's drifting back, but he makes the catch. So the 2-out error on Daza. No harm, no foul. They can all hug in the dugout. Still scoreless. Once again, we welcome you back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus, presented by ZipRecruiter. We're at Coors Field. Rockies trying to break the ice here against Atlanta. Nothing, because Max Fried and Chad Kuhl have been tremendous. 0-5-0 for Atlanta, 0-1-1 for the Rockies. Fried misses inside on Randall Grichuk to begin the bottom of the 6th. Before that, he'd thrown 52 pitches, 37 for strikes, and has not thrown more than 4 balls in any one inning tonight.
Ball inside.
Blazing start for Grichuk this year. First 20 games, batting .325, 4 home runs, and .889 OPS, 16 stakes. The last 19, last 20 or so games, it's gone the other way on him. It's gone ice cold, but he's a streaky hitter, and when he gets on Hunter, he can carry an offense.
Absolutely, he's definitely got the power. He's got the speed.
And there's a shot into the corner in left field. Randall Grichuk has extra bases. Just the second hit of the ball game for Colorado, and a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, leadoff double is outstanding in a 0-0 ball game in the bottom of the 6th. Now it's time to execute if you're the Rockies lineup. Right here, gets a little cutter slider inside. Nice smooth path, and that came off the bat so hot. I'd like to see the exit velo on this one, but that's a perfect pure line drive right down the line. Rockies are in business.
Number 9 batter, the catcher.
107.8.
107.8. That's a spicy meatball. I was making some meatballs at Bottle Rock, so I got that stuck in my head.
Love it. The catcher, Elias Diaz. Ellie, as you heard Bud Black call him, to Heidi Watney. Heidi, I don't know if we can patch Heidi through. I do want to apologize because she was talking.
And you just weren't listening.
I wasn't ignoring her, I just couldn't hear. So
I like that Hunter and I both froze because she specifically asked for you, and so we were like, well, we couldn't possibly answer her and make this less awkward.
Diaz pulls it foul down the third base line.
I wish y'all could see the shuffle between Katie and Steven and everyone in the booth. It was definitely a beautiful disaster.
I was just up there enjoying the view, had no clue that Steven couldn't hear me.
Just a mile high, baby.
Oh, it's gorgeous up there, though. Beautiful ballpark, guys.
Yeah, it really is.
Beautiful night, too.
Lovely night. Yeah, the rain passed through quickly. About an hour, maybe half hour before first pitch. Now just sporadic clouds. Don't know which kind. 0-2 the count on Diaz. Ooh, he hit it hard, but well foul.
And he's got 2 strikes on him right here, but and Fried's probably going to be pitching him hard in because the battle right here is to get anything to the right side, preferably a grounder, just to get Grichuk over to third base. So old school baseball is going to be hardcore trying to go the other way, and the new school is to take your A swing. I'm not sure which one is correct, but both apply.
Diaz calls time as Fried was shaking off a call from Darno. The battery will get on the same page. Checks back on Grichuk at second. That was a mistake to go at it, but he somehow got a piece of it.
Hey, you can see right there, he is fighting to hit the ball the other way, which is a team at bat, because that bat path was 100%. I'm two-strike battling to put this in play and get him over. He was chopping that into the ground, and this is a nasty curveball. Look at him, just everything to try to go the other way. Staying alive, baby.
Diaz has just one hit his last dozen at bats. Don't necessarily need a hit. Just a productive out will do at this point. The pitch from Fried, fouled off.
And as you can see, a lot of the pitchers will just pound you in because they know what you want to do, and that's where the new school is like, just take your A swing. If they're not going to give you the pitch, don't force it. And it also it depends on what kind of hitter you are. If you have the barrel skill to hit an inside pitch the other way. So the game within the game that's going on.
3 curves, a slider, and a fastball so far to Diaz. Reed had a pitch to waste. Diaz wasn't offering. Good stop by Darno to keep it in front of him. Alex Colomé warming. And Chad Kuhl has the look of a pitcher whose day is done.
Well done, job well done.
Diaz, ground ball left side. Swanson looks Grichuk back to second base and throws the first to get out number 1. Neither Dansby nor Grichuk are wearing mics tonight. Ryan McMahon for the Rockies, William Contreras for Atlanta. I'd love to know what that conversation was like at second base. Connor Joe singled his last time up.
I'm sure Grichuk was telling him about his blazing speed, and you're lucky I didn't go to third right there. Keep him guessing.
Joe had the first hit of the game for the Colorado lineup against Max Fried. Another one here might give us the first run of the ball game. Awesome.
And even though it's Max Fried and he's really locked in tonight, the fact that he's seen so many pitches is definitely, you feel good coming into your third at bat after having that deep of a bat and getting a hit. You've just seen a little bit of all of it.
Well, California kids here. Fried versus Joe. Harvard Westlake against Poway High School, and that one was fouled right off Joe. He's going to walk it off.
Right off his hip. While he walks it off, can we talk a little bit about his hair? Because I feel like we talk about sweet flows in this booth a lot.
It's true.
Please tell us.
Connor Joe's hair is not only sweet flow, but it also has a little bit of symbolism to it. A little bit of meaning.
To him.
Yeah, a reminder to him, as you mentioned earlier, Stephen, finding out about his cancer diagnosis and battling that. Chemotherapy. Having the hair reminds him of what he's been through and where he is now. And it looks cool. It looks so cool. Not everybody can pull that off.
So I asked him earlier this year, I'm like, look, I'm sure you got this question a ton. What's the routine? He's like, honestly, I just get it a little wet. Maybe sometimes we put something in it, throw it back, put a hat on. I'm like, okay, Connor, now you're just flexing.
Now you're just rubbing it in.
Deep breaths for him in the box. Staring at a 2-2 count against Max Fried, one of the best in the business. Big spot in the game. Connor Joe, ground ball to Swanson. Grichuk will move up to third. And the fielder's choice. Max Fried wants to have a chat with Travis d'Arnaud ahead of his meeting with Charlie Blackmon. Hunter, you were talking with Chuck Nasty before the game. You mind if I ask?
Oh yeah.
What about?
I was just asking him kind of his approach, his thoughts to hitting, what matters to him, and he says he doesn't really like to analyze bad swings. He likes to look more at good swings because it could be your timing. And to him, keeping his head still is of utmost importance, because if your head is moving, the ball is moving even more than it already is. So pretty simple. He didn't get too in depth. A lot of approaching certain pitches, not trying to cover everything. But I've always just really thought his at bats were extraordinarily methodical. He puts together just great season after great season. No matter how he starts, he finishes in a really good statistical category.
All right, he's one of the more productive, in addition to being one of the most popular Rockies of all time. Second round pick out of Georgia Tech here in Atlanta back in 2008. And he now in his 12th year, all with the Rockies, second in games played, hits and stolen bases, third in runs scored, seventh in homers. As Randall Gritch extending on third, just waiting to come home. Yikes.
Extraordinarily consistent, and that's why it was important to me to just ask him.
Look at that mullet.
Yeah, I've done this before. Let's see this foul ball. I actually gave myself a black eye.
Look at that. Hello.
Those nasty curveballs can get you.
It didn't. I don't think it touched him, but man, that's so scary.
Might have got the forehead a little bit.
Bucket's back on. He's down 0-2 now. Former batting champion for the Rockies. Trying to come through here in the bottom of the sixth of a scoreless game. The flare is beyond the infield. Dansby Swanson waving everybody off. So after the leadoff double to Gritchick, Max Fried gets Diaz, Joe, and Blackmon in order, and it stays scoreless after 6. Max Fried hunkered down there in the bottom of the 6th inning and kept the Rockies off the board. So we welcome you all back to Denver, Colorado, Coors Field, sign of our latest edition of Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV+. Heidi Watney down on the grounds. Hunter Pence, Katie Nolan, and myself here in the booth. Alex Colomé will take over for Chad Kuhl. You close the book on Kuhl. 6 innings of shutout baseball. 5 hits. He struck out 3, walked 2. 66 of his 98 pitches for strikes. Second scoreless start of the year for the Rockies righty. Really, outside of a couple starts where he was roughed up against the Giants, Chad Kuhl has been tremendous on the whole this year in 2022. Former Pepperdine Wave, Travis d'Arnaud. Battery mate with Max Fried for 10 of Fried's 11 turns this year. Chopper foul. And Darno, as he fouled that one off Diaz, catchers check in on each other. We talked about Connor Joe and his journey as a former first-round pick, how it took him a while to get to this point. Had to battle through some things. Same could be said for Brendan Rodgers in the Rockies clubhouse, but also the same for Travis d'Arnaud. First-round pick in 2007, and his journey to this point in Atlanta, a roller coaster. As he flies out to Grichuk, and it's time to whip it around once more with LG Red.
Yeah, Nelly, we have a lot of action starting in Miami. Another high-scoring affair. Brandon Crawford with a grand salami to right center field to make it 15-2. Gigantes on top. They go on to win this one 15-4. How about that? That was the 5th of his career. More long balls. Oh, wait, JK. How about this? Colin Poche getting out of a jam there, striking out Luis Robert with bases loaded. Out to the land of cheese curds there. Yeah, Joe Musgrove doing some work there. Not going to say it because I'm superstitious, but why don't you go ahead and look at the box score? A couple of goose eggs there, Nelly.
Well, only one pitcher in the history of that franchise has done that thing you're talking about that you don't want to talk about. And it's that same pitcher, Joe Musgrove.
Did you say it was Donut Day?
Yeah, National Donut Day.
There's a lot of donuts out there.
Last I heard, Heidi was on the hunt for the best donut spot here in Denver. I don't know how successful a mission that was.
Can you tweet at me?
We're running out of innings.
Some donut spots. I want to know some donut spots.
What's the at? Drop the at. Is it just 100 pence?
Yeah, 100 pence.
I guess when you're 100 pence, it's
Yeah.
just your name.
Colome just working with 2 pitches this season. A lot of cutters, 85%, and 4-seam fastballs, not shying away from the strike zone.
Working on a string of 6 consecutive scoreless appearances. Now facing a guy that Atlanta wants to get going. I mentioned how he led the National League in ribbies last year with 113 to go with a career high 38 home runs. That despite just a 228 average and a 281 OBP. This year just 2 dingers for Duvall. K rate, the highest it's been in his career. 3rd highest strikeout rate across the league, in fact.
A brave chant is breaking out over the third base dugout here in Colorado.
Ground or foul. Yeah, I think, look, you look at our generation, Hunter, growing up kind of before the rise of cable and streaming services, certainly. But back, when we were kids, there were 2 teams that you could see consistently nationally. That was the Chicago Cubs on WGN and Atlanta on TBS. So it's always been one of those fan bases that is well represented no matter the city. Duvall swings and misses. Colome with a strikeout to cap off a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th. CJ Cron will lead off in the bottom half. That's next. Swanson goes. Coming home, Acuna Jr. He slides in. They got him at home. 2nd strikeout of the 1st inning for Max Fried to get it a 1-2-3 frame for Fried. Strike 3. Make that another strikeout. Swanson taking off for 2nd. Diaz's throw down. The tag put on him. Still donuts. It's National Donut Day. All this donut talk. Nothing here between Atlanta and Colorado in Denver on Friday Night Baseball. It's time for the bottom of the 7th inning.
Just a classic Coors game.
Yeah, I mean, I was
Totally.
told there would be dingers.
Well, perhaps this man could provide one. He's got that pop. 14 on the year. Takes strike 1. Not a part of the zone from Fried. Now, when you think of elite first baseman in the game, how long does it take you? I'm talking to the folks tuning in here. How long does it take you to get to CJ Cron's name? Maybe longer than it should. Fried. That was just dirty. You saw CJ lock up for a second. But look, you got Paul Goldschmidt, one of the MVP contenders in the National League thus far this year. Freddie Freeman, Matt Olson, Pete Alonso. But the fact is,
Brandon
Belt, Captain Daddy. Crone has been the top 5 or near it in all major offensive categories. Well, Major League first baseman. So the last year and change now. So he erupted for 28 and 92 last year in 142 games. The 1-2 from Fried misses outside.
No matter your answer, it was definitely too long to get to Crone.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, he's been an all-star for the Rockies here in 2022. That's a tough list to break through. Fried's 2-2 gets him swinging.
And Max Fried not impressed. He says, here comes a cutter, 14 homers, I'm coming inside. Look at that cutter grip, slider cutter. Slambio, you see the dot right there. There's the red dot. We were talking grips and spins. Katie, you see it in slow-mo.
I see it.
Yoink.
Gosh, that was disgusting. Fried into the 7th for the 3rd time this year. It was his 3rd strikeout of the game, first since the 1st inning.
One of the most fascinating things during our pregame conversations, for me at least, was hearing that, you know, obviously we know that the ball is affected by this park and being this high up in altitude, but hearing that, you know, pitchers are releasing it and it has the same spin coming off their hand, but where the change happens is by the time it gets to the plate is that it's moving differently than it would in other parks. I don't know science or physics all that well, or pretend to.
Ground ball from Rogers to Riley at 3rd, and he's thrown out. Well, if you want to hand the science baton to Heidi Watney, she's ready, Heids.
Always ready with the science baton. You know, I talked to CJ Crone before the game about how hard it is coming to play at altitude, and he said, hey, it's hard going to play at sea level every single week. We talk about guys having to make adjustments coming here. He said we get used to the ball here, and then every week we have to go to sea level. The ball moves a lot more. We have to make adjustments weekly. We don't just get to come in for 3 games and get back to what feels like normal, not to mention the toll that the altitude takes on the body, Stephen.
Oh, totally, Heidi. I mean, that's always been the narrative, though, with the Colorado Rockies, hasn't it? It's always a one-way street, seemingly. They have it so great here because they play half their games a mile high. It's never really factored in what they're doing away from their home ballpark.
You know, and I think that's a great point that we don't talk about enough, is that not seeing that dynamic movement of MLB pitching on a daily basis at home definitely makes the shift when you go on the road much more challenging than it is when instead of being here in this altitude, because it is a completely different ball game.
Yeah.
No matter what you say, the ball's moving different, and I can imagine that makes it harder on the hitters than easy, especially obviously on the road.
Sea level, altitude, never easy. Batting against Max Fried. He's worked ahead of Jonathan Daza here in the 7th. Fights to stay alive. Buddy Black was telling us that the key for pitchers here, no matter which uniform they wear, is making sure that release point is the same. Because when that changes, that's when the ball starts to hang. And when it gets hung, bad things happen for pitchers. Daza called time. It's a good matchup. Fried loves to throw the breaking ball. Nearly 43% usage. And Daza hits about 350 on the breaking ball.
We got 2 strikes and 2 outs, but I'll try to do this quickly. But the slider from like at home in San Francisco, where I played for many years, it would break like quick, like this, whereas it would kind of roll. So like it's like this or this. and you can follow it a lot better. So I can imagine not facing that every day as a home player in Colorado and going on the road. It's a lot bigger of a deal to deal with than it is going from playing where that's breaking sharp all the pitchers, and then you come to where it rolls a little bit. So it just gets you in a better rhythm for a complete season. And that's why I think it's one of the most challenging things to make the playoffs for the Colorado Rockies, because they're fighting a lot of uphill battles.
Or up mountain battles.
Up mountain battles, but I'll take it. Point.
2-2 to Daza. Ground ball to Olsen. He's going to flip it to Fried, who steps on the bag at first. 1-2-3. How many times have we said that tonight for Max Fried? Too many for Rockies fans. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus is presented by ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire, and sponsored in part by SoFi. Bank, borrow, and invest all in one app. And by Oris, a 118-year-old independent Swiss watchmaker setting the new standard. Is this a new standard for baseball at Coors Field? 0-0 into the 8th inning. Sun nearly set here in Denver. Yeah, and last night, 19 runs, 31 hits. Tonight, a much different story. Tyler Kinley out of the bullpen for Bud Black and the Rockies.
I'm going to go out on a limb and call this an outlier.
I think the numbers bear out and prove you correct. Nine, 1-2. Due up for Atlanta. Harris, Acuna, and Swanson. Harris with a fly ball into center field. But Daza has a grab on it.
I want to take this opportunity to just call out one more time Elias Diaz and how soft, and I just feel like he just does such a good job behind home plate. Really respect watching him work back there. It is very, very good receiving and just bounces around and a lot of energy. Obviously, he made the 2 good plays, but watching him work, you can see why the Rockies like him.
He's working to get the staff right. McKinley's been going right. Just 1 run allowed his last 12 appearances. And he's held opponents off the scoreboard in 19 of 21 this year. Healthy hack from Acuna Jr. Strike 2.
He's one of those backwards pitchers where he's throwing more sliders than he is fastballs. So he's setting you up with the slider and working, 46% of the four-seam fastball.
Ahead of Acuna Jr. Roll number left side, tough play to make. Acuna Jr. hustles out his second single of the ball game.
It's one of those tough balls. It's in the middle. You don't know who's gonna. That's my professional read on it. Hunter, what do you think?
Smart batting, hit it where they're not, run like you stole something. Not that you would steal anything, but that's just the phrase.
Well, you would like to steal. You would like to steal second base potentially. Went after it.
I feel like I've heard so many people yell that anytime you hit one of those swinging bunts, run like you stole something. I have to say it every time I see it. Perfect placement. Smart hitting.
Great effort by McMahon at third. Swanson seeing a shift in the Rockies infield. Wide open to the right. Dansby's really improved his plate discipline the last 2+ weeks. It's been a huge factor in him turning around his season offensively. 3 for 3 tonight. All singles. you look at his strikeout rate on the whole, not great, not where he wants it. Career worst, in fact. But again, the last 2+ weeks, whiff rate down almost 14%. The strikeout rate nearly 21% from where it was the first 36.
And that's baseball. It's adjustment. So if something's going on that you don't like, how are you going to adjust? And the good ball players find a way to make the adjustment. And pitch selection is one of the things that I think hitters need to harp in on and learn to practice more. We didn't do it much in my day.
Yeah, I mean, again, just the way that the sport has evolved, Hunter. That's just all the tools at players' disposal, information. Everybody processes it differently. Everybody finds different things that work for them, but there's just more there.
The data shows that it makes a big difference.
Acuna Jr. A slight lean. Dansby Swanson to left field. Connor Joe has the catch.
And for Tyler Kinley, baseball works in mysterious ways. You give up the soft base hit, then you give up the hard line out. They say it always evens out. Perfect. A lot of baseball players will argue that's not true, but for Tyler Kinley in this inning, it's evening out. Connor Joe with a great play right there. That's a tough one.
Yeah, he had a perfect route to the ball.
Yeah, and he top spun that ball, which is something that you have to recognize right off the bat. Because if that was back spun, you got to go back. But the fact that it top spun, it kind of dies down, and he made a perfect read on that one right there. Connor Joe, excellent play.
105 miles per hour off the bat, Dansby Swanson. Marcell Ozuna swings at the first pitch, and he has a base hit to left. First and second for Atlanta with 2 down in the top of the 8th.
Wasting no time, gets the pitch he wants. Barrels it. It's been a low line drivey kind of night.
Again, the ball was flying out of here last night. Last night, Riley 3 for 5. Tonight, 0 for 2. So his 11-game hitting streak potentially in jeopardy. During these 11 games, he's bumped his OPS from 744 to 861. Let's get him back on a track similar to 2021 anyway.
And I mean, 2 outs, tie ball game, 8th inning. This is when the at-bats mean the most. Big one right here for Austin Riley.
Acuna Jr. on second. Ozuna on first. On the ground to the right side. Into the glove of Crone. The flip to Kinley, and he steps on the bag. So at the top of the 8th, Braves get a runner in scoring position, but does not score. Max Fried still has the ball for Atlanta. It's the bottom of the 8th inning in a scoreless ball game at Coors Field. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Rockies. It's Iglesias, McMahon, and Grichuk. You see him in his career at Coors Field. April 2019 and tonight. Yep, he good. There's another strike.
And look, all you got to do is duplicate Max Fried if you're the Rockies. Find pitchers just like him. Find a bunch of pitchers that are left-handed throwing 97. He hasn't given up an earned run at Coors Field in 2 starts. It's a small sample size, but maybe it's the MLB The Show the night before. I don't know what the trick is.
StatCast powered by Google Cloud. These are the outs by pitch type for Fried tonight against the Rocks.
And basically he's throwing the kitchen sink, and he's throwing it everywhere, wherever he wants it.
Yeah.
And it's been absolutely fantastic to watch.
0-2 to Iglesias. Slice jaws foul. One rode the line for a bit.
It like comes out of his hand kind of like a catapult, I would imagine. You know, because he just like holds on to it for so long, and you can see how late he was on that fastball. It's just the slingshot effect.
You know, showing that arsenal, I'm reminded of a conversation with my buddy Kevin McAlpin. Of course, folks in Atlanta know and love Kev and his work on the flagship radio station for the Braves, and he's just talked about how Max has grown up and developed as a pitcher in the system, and how he's constantly trying to evolve and get better. He's not just resting, okay, I got 3 pitches that work, I'm going to throw these 3 pitches, I'm going to see what else I can add to the arsenal. Fly ball to center. Cannon corn for Harris. And I think that's the mark of greatness. Something that's backed up by his manager Brian Snitker. And the changeup, the most recent example of that, we talked about that earlier, where he really broke it out in the biggest game of his life.
Yeah, no big
Game 6 of the World Series on the road in Houston against the Astros lineup. 11 changeups out of nowhere, and he's building on that this year. So who knows what's next in the evolution of Max Fried.
The amount of confidence to go, oh, Game 6 of the World Series, I'm going to break out this pitch I've only thrown 6 times all year, and I'm just
no more. Yeah.
Maybe he felt it in the bullpen, was just like, oh yeah, it's working today. But amazing stuff. Incredible start to his career.
Ryan McMahon, a player his teammates say needs more love. Once Charlie Blackmon is done playing baseball in Colorado, and I hope that's later rather than sooner, his teammates say Mac is probably the guy you look at as the face of the team. He's kind of infused a bit of a different approach. Seems to be more patient early on in counts. Last year, you had a first pitch swing rate of 42.3%. This year, it's below 32%. He's looked at 3 balls here from Max Fried. Strike 1 just beneath the zone, but when you've been as good as Fried has tonight, you're going to get a call like that.
It's borderline. You get those borderline calls. And I got to hear, you know, McMahon welcomed me to Colorado on the airplane train.
Yeah, that's right.
I love that.
And he draws a 1-out walk.
So when you come to Colorado, let him welcome you in on the tram to the baggage claim. That's a good take. He got the low call, didn't get the high call. At least he didn't give them both, because that can really cause you some frustration. I mean, that's a strike, but he just got the 1 down called, so maybe the box is shifted. That's always a possibility.
Something we haven't said. We'll talk about Max Fried tonight. There's a walk. First one of the ball game. Now Grichuk led off the 6th inning with a double. And then Fried stranded him. Fouled straight back.
Coming in with the slider again, and you know, Grichuk, I believe it was a slider, maybe a fastball, but something hard in that he was able to get to earlier.
Brian Snitker giving his starting pitcher a chance to get out of this 8th inning. A.J. Minter is getting loose in the Atlanta bullpen. Grichuk with a fly ball to left center field. Harris is going to call off Duvall. 2 down. Well, I'm just throwing stuff at the wall here, Hunter and Katie. But given the game that we've had, again, the exact opposite of what anybody would expect before watching a game at Coors Field. Maybe it's Elias Diaz who's struggling. He's been scuffling coming in. Maybe it's his time. Runner going. Hit and run was on, but it's foul. Look out in that Atlanta dugout.
Nice grab.
honestly, with the pitching matchup, you can't be too surprised. You know, when you're looking at Chad Kuhl and Max Fried, even in Colorado, they're going to be tough to face no matter what. So, excellent pitching performances tonight.
Truly.
But if it does get weird, Elias Diaz versus Max Fried's 99th to 100th pitch is an interesting time.
Here is pitch 100 for Fried. Nope, just kidding. So there's some booze here, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna need the Rockies fans here to have a feel. How many times did we see Chad Kuhl do that today?
I mean,
it doesn't matter.
Never
You
matters.
don't ever
Yeah,
pick off at a home stadium. Nobody.
McMahon staring down Fried, trying to get a read to time him up. Diaz, one slicing into foul territory, and it gets down right in front of Ronald Acuna Jr. Fried has only pitched in the 8th inning twice in his career, and both of them came in complete game efforts last year. It's Baltimore and San Diego. Season high in pitches, for those who are watchers of the pitch count, is 104. That came in his last start against Miami, a game that he won. In agreement with Darno, trying to put Diaz away. Ooh.
A little sidearm.
Season high 104, career high 106 for Fried. One strike away from ending the 8th. Diaz, another one shot foul.
96, pitch 101. Nothing short of sensational from Max Fried. And it always baffles me, befuddles me when they just pump their, like they empty the tank and are throwing their hardest deep in games. I love that.
The predictive probability stats, bottom right, saying the reach base probability for Diaz right now behind Max Fried 0-2, 25%.
Challenge flag.
There's the pitch, and Fried gets him swinging. Max Fried's a bad man. Still scoreless to the 9th we go, with Matt Olson leading off. Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus, presented by ZipRecruiter. What a pitcher's duel we have had tonight. No runs in a game in Denver, Colorado. Max Fried, masterful for Atlanta in 8 full. For the Rockies, Chad Kuhl went 6. Colomé and Kinley each with an inning of relief work, and now it's Daniel Bard. You want power versus power, you get it right out the chute with Bard facing Matt Olson. Bard striking out 11.17 batters per 9 innings.
We didn't think we were going to see Bard tonight. He pitched in the second game of that doubleheader.
Fouled right back off Diaz, who had to wear that. You're right. The expectation was that this would be a night off for Daniel Bard, but you know, I ain't complaining.
Me neither.
Catchers are crazy. Just taking balls off the hand and the bone and the wrist and the toe. 97 fouled. The fact that any of them hit at all is crazy to me.
They're different. Olson 0 for tonight. Does have a walk. It's ball 1 outside. I know the decision to move on from Freddie Freeman shook up the baseball world. Brian Snitker says you could not have handpicked a better person to take over that torch than one Matt Olson. Not just because of his home run power, his offensive ability, his defensive prowess, the fact that he's a hometown kid, but just the way that he is built and made up. It's to fight here against Bard. Bounces in with ball 2.
Thank you.
I like that.
Trip Gibson, you know, he's appreciating it.
Thanks to Elias Diaz, the catcher in front of him.
Ball magnet.
Number hit the line and went foul. Told you Minter was warming. Kenley Jansen up as well.
Max didn't have his jacket on yet.
Due up for the Rockies in the bottom of the ninth is the top of the order. 1, 2, and 3. Joe Blackman and Crone. Sent foul. And how about that? Bottom left of your screen. Only one game in the history of this ballpark has entered extra innings scoreless. All the way back in 2008. Rockies and Dodgers.
How many have entered the ninth 0-0? I wonder.
Well, the Rockies won that game 1-0 in 10 innings.
3 games. 3 games have entered the ninth 0-0. This is a special game.
That is so wild.
Baseball.
Baseball, man.
Full count. Bard to Olson, top of the ninth. Strikeout swinging.
Power versus power.
That had power movement on it.
And once again, how did Elias catch this ball? I'm sorry, but I just love watching him catch. Here comes so much cheese. 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 Curve. Cheese. Cheese. And cheddar biscuit. Wait, one more.
Wow.
Give me the ball, coach, manager. Put me in.
Yeah, I don't think you say put me in, manager. I think you just still say coach.
You don't call him coach, but you know, you just see it in his face.
Yeah.
Now it's Travis d'Arnaud. 2 of his 6 home runs came last night.
Speaking of catchers taking hits and staying in.
Yeah.
Remember that one a million years ago?
Holds up. It's a strike. The outer part of the plate. Brian Snitker going to his bench to bring out one of his stars. Ozzie Albies on deck to pinch hit for Arcia. Ball down. Big cut for d'Arnaud. 2-2.
In this matchup, a little more power versus water. You know, d'Arnaud has power, but he's more of the smooth type swinger. A little steamy, fire and water.
Hey, Bruce Lee said, be watered. See how he adjusts to the 2-2. Bard pulls the fastball well outside, so it's full once again.
Once again, even though that didn't matter as much, Aaliyah's catching that ball. It's got a magnet. His hands are so good. That's not easy.
No. Three-two misses up. And Darno will take his base. The table is set for Ozzie Albies. Pinch runner coming in for the catcher Duval, Guillermo Heredia. Now you want fun. You got it now. Heredia on first and Albies in the box. Good vibes only between those two. Albies certainly has good vibes as a pinch hitter in his career. 4 for 7 with a double. He's also walked. Diaz with a stare down to first base at Heredia. Don't even think about it.
That was big, keeping him at first right there. Dirt ball. Could have been aggressive, pinch running. First pitch, action. Elias just shutting everything down.
Now we'll refocus Bard against the two-time All-Star in Albies. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. I think the lean back from Ozzie must have thrown off Trip Gibson behind home plate, because I'm not sure how that's not a strike.
Man, I guess it happens. Where do you go from there, Bard?
They step off.
Regroup.
Yeah, have to.
It happens. Everyone makes mistakes.
That's a potentially AB changing call. It's 2-0 for Albies. Make it 3-0. Look at Albies' swing rate in his career. It's up near 59%. In this spot here, 3-0. Albies does swing with a fly ball to center field. Daza secures it.
And yeah, 3-0 hacking right here. He gets the fastball he wants. Puts a good, well, it's kind of painted away. Ozzie wants to hit. Decent swing on it, but right at the center fielder. Caught, oh, the end of the bat right there. But that was a tough pitch, 3-0. Daniel Bard definitely thankful to battle through that tough call.
So it remains a runner on first. Now 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Adam Duvall. Gosh, as everybody has been waiting for this Atlanta club to hit its stride. From an individual standpoint, and a lot of folks looking at this man, because they've seen what he can do once the bat is rolling. It is not to start the year, but the numbers that you just saw on the screen, as maybe cliche as it sounds, they don't matter right now.
I'm a fan of the cliches. Could be a hero, find a way to win the game today. That's what Daniel Bard's out there for right now, because as Bud Black said, we didn't expect him to come in, and he must have said something in this tight ball game. Daniel Bard find a way to win today.
Bard comes set for the 1-1. Diaz setting up outside. And that's where it misses. Another strike. Seemingly a strike. Call the ball against Bard. Yeah.
Well, he is set up down and away, hit up and in. It's borderline right there.
Yeah.
Rare to get 2 of those in 1 inning, but it's happened right now, and probably because he's so nasty, it's maybe tough to see.
On that second view, don't hate it.
Yeah, right. I thought the same thing.
With the count 3-1. In strike 2. So now the Rockies fans will elevate the decibel levels here at Coors Field. 37,336 in attendance here on this Friday night.
Chicken.
Yeah.
Got the chicken here.
Need Heidi for the full backstory on that fan. But right now, we focus on the 3-2. Runner on first. Heredia gets back to the bag.
I don't know if they keep stats for amount of swings in a game, swings and misses where their helmet flies off because they swung so hard. We've had a lot of those tonight. I feel like if they kept that stat, we might be up there.
Added to the.
I don't know. You guys are always talking
lexicon?
about advanced metrics. How about that one?
Step it up.
Swings with helmet off. I don't know. Come up with something better.
There Heredia goes. Popped up. Diaz tosses the mask away. Called off by Crone, who makes the catch. So now to the bottom of the ninth. Bottom of the ninth. Top of the order due up. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Well done.
Thanks, HP. From HP to AJ. AJ Minter gets the ball for the bottom of the 9th inning for Atlanta. Max Fried shoved for 8. 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, and a walk. It's Joe, Blackman, and Crone. So replacements for Atlanta. After Darno was pinch run for in the top of the 9th. William Contreras now catching. Albies having pinch hit for Arcia will stay in the game at second base. Ooh. Came inside, missed. So it's 2-0 on Joe. Joe, Blackman, and Crone are 1 for 9 tonight with 3 punch outs. They've left 4 on. Rockies have 1 walk-off victory this year. It happened on Wednesday. Game 2 of a doubleheader against Miami. Last year they had a franchise record 12 walk-off wins.
The Joe chant.
That's right.
Love it.
Trying to will Kojo to a knock. 97 painted. 2-2.
He's a great 2-strike hitter as well. Perfect for that leadoff spot.
Keeps those forearms kind of tight together before every swing. A.J. Minter begins the ninth with a strikeout.
He didn't really see anything to hit. A.J. Minter just dialing up the corners, shaving rubber off a balloon.
There's one of those phrases we told you might get.
Or shaving a balloon, whichever one you want to call it. I don't think he shaved the rubber off. It pops, but shaving it so tight.
I knew what you meant.
It can catch a little rubber.
Now it's Charlie Blackmon. For Minter, 1 run allowed over his last 15 in the third. He's had a tough time in his career against Colorado. Entering this evening, 7 2/3 pitched against the Rockies, 11 earned runs. Charlie Blackmon, 35-year-old, has 5 career walk-off blasts. To left field, it will slice over toward Duvall. 2 away. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Looking at C.J. Crone and his blasts in 2022, all 14 of them to the pull side.
Call that a party out front, catching it out front.
Yeah.
Go Oppo, it's a party out back, but he's partying out front.
No, he just liked to party at the plate, celebrate a victory. A.J. Minter misses upstairs. Strike one in there. Should this go to extra innings, Duvall will start on second. Harris will lead off. 9-1-2 for Atlanta.
And it just looks like A.J. Minter does not want to come inside. You know, Crone's kind of standing up there wide open. And all 3 of the first 3 pitches, he's attacking the outside. The fact that he was able to foul that off was kind of crazy, though.
Foul back.
Oh.
Off a fan's hand. Gonna need you to make a play.
That's another pitch right on the corner. Take him to the carnival. You'll come home with a stuffed animal.
Who hit the on button on you?
Don't turn it off, whoever did.
For real.
Minter has Crone 1-2. His pitch struck him out. A.J. Minter with 2 Ks in the bottom of the 9th inning. We are going to extras at Coors Field in a scoreless game. What is happening? For just the 2nd time in the history of this ballpark, a baseball game goes into extra innings with no score. September 14th, 2008, Rockies and Dodgers. June 3rd, 2022, Colorado and Atlanta. Carlos Estevez making his 19th appearance. With the runner on second, they throw down. Duvall has to slide back in.
Nice try. Nice try.
Okay.
Wow, just He's everywhere back there. You can't get it by him.
The new, I would say, VP of the Elias Diaz fan club tonight, 100
Yeah,
pounds.
I'm number one fan. I want one of those fingers for Elias. Putting in work. Got to respect it.
Obviously, it's Duvall, the last out of the 9th inning. The runner on second base. Harris fouls it back, 1-2.
As we head into extras, it is worth noting that this Rockies team has played 3 doubleheaders in the last 11 days. So, I mean, we've seen these guys pretty recently, and a lot is being asked of them here in this weird and wild game.
They've played 3 extra inning games entering tonight. They've won all of them. Atlanta has played 4 and lost all of them. So basically, it's just another thing where I don't know what baseball's got in store for us. I don't know. That's why we watch. Why we love it.
Yeah, we're here to get weird, and we're doing that. This is, I think Harris is I think the back pocket has to be a statement at this point.
Tapped in front of home plate. Duvall has to go back to second. Throw down to first is a good one from Diaz. Those plays are a lot more difficult than the big leaguers make it look.
Yeah, these are expected to be made, but the PFPs of, and the bounce of Elias Diaz, he's just doing everything. This dude's got a cannon. He's showing it off everywhere. Soft hands. But, yeah, big leaguers, they do the PFPs on lock. You can't. So many games are won and lost. That has to be a lock.
It did not advance the runner to third. Still in scoring position for Ronald Acuna Jr. Though getting that big hit with the runner in scoring position, something that has eluded Atlanta for much of the year. Been getting guys on, just getting them home. That's been a problem. A lot of strikeouts.
Really kind of think back to that first inning opportunity, because it seemed like we were just going to have this offensive game. Here we are watching 100 in the 10th inning.
That's a great point, Hunter. This game began with back-to-back singles from Acuna Jr. and Swanson. And things got weird. Rogers, yeah. Rogers and Diaz throwing out Acuna at home plate. And ultimately, Chad Kuhl worked out of that jam. Beautifully pitched game on both sides. Max Fried and Chad Kuhl. Fried win 8. Kuhl win 6. The 1-1 to Acuna Jr. Swung through.
And Estevez is just casually pumping 100 right now. Like, he's hit 100 on 3 of these pitches. That was just 98. Love that. Feeling good tonight.
Some more gas. 100 right down Broadway. Fouled back by Acuna. Four four-seamers, 3 of them at triple digits for Estevez. Went with another fastball, but misses up and away.
You can hear that pop all the way up here in the booth.
Another fun fact, he was a teammate of mine in the 2018 winter ball, Toros del Este. So much fun playing out there.
Yeah, you've got some great stories.
He was out there, man. He has a lot of energy. Really fun guy to be around.
His 2-2 is fouled away.
The wildest thing about being out there is you never know who's going to show up in the clubhouse. Go ahead.
And in a baseball game, you never know who's going to show up in the clutch.
Wow.
Hey.
Look at that poetry. You hear that, Emmys? Did you hear that?
You got that right.
Acuna Jr. getting closer and closer to fair territory. That one was hit a long way, but foul. He's timing him up.
Yeah, the more pitches just getting synced up a little bit. If you're Estevez, you want to throw probably some kind of ball right here. See if you can get him to chase. Got a base open and.
That one gets away. And that will allow Duvall to advance to third.
Well, he threw the ball. I think that was maybe a changeup. Yeah, this is a changeup right here. Yeah, that's a changeup grip. Just spiked it, and you definitely wanted it to be a ball, and it
redirected once it hit the dirt.
It hit something funky because nothing's gotten by him.
Now the count is full. Fouled back.
What did this hit? Here's this pitch right here. And it just took a funky hop. Sometimes that happens.
Pitch is scored as a wild one. Pitch number 10 to Acuna Jr. Misses upstairs. Nice battle between those two. Results in a walk. So they're at the corners for Dansby Swanson.
And I don't think Estevez is upset about that. He wanted to throw a high fastball, a little too high, and the changeup low. But Acuna was kind of getting locked in as he was getting synced up.
Swanson singled in the first, third, and sixth. Flew out in the eighth. Back up in the 10th. 90 feet separating Atlanta and the lead.
Ooh.
That got him.
Ooh.
With 100.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Hit him on the hand. You can see him pointing to it. So he does not want to see Brian Snick or the athletic training staff.
I mean, you could hear him react when that hit him in the hand.
That was 100 miles per hour.
Dansby Swanson is a tough sucker because he's just standing there like it didn't hurt.
Oh, man.
It didn't even go down. Just want to let this hang for a bit.
I mean, I know that's a man in pain, but beautiful form like a dancer.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait a second.
Well, from that angle, but I don't think that angle's going to be favorable.
It hit the hand first, but it hits the bat afterwards. You see.
Okay, so this will be another replay review powered by Mitel. And Swanson and Crone at first base watching on the big screen here at Coors Field. We're seeing the same angles we are on Apple TV Plus. So, gosh, I mean, so that angle looks like hand first, right? And then it rolls off the hands, hits the bat. Yeah, no, you can see the glove.
Back of the hand, you see his hand wiggle.
Now, this would be my question: is the hand considered part of the bat, or if it hits the bat, does that change things? Because it definitely hits the hand first, but it looks like it hits the bat as well.
But I think once it hits once
it hits the hand, I don't know, to be honest with you.
Okay, Blas Diaz has the call.
After review, the call is confirmed. Batter was hit by a pitch, first base.
Okay, so yeah, if it hits the hand first, you're on base.
And the wording there from Diaz, call was confirmed.
Daryl Scott going to come out, come up with a game plan for Ozuna.
This is from the umpire, Mike. Yeah, you hear two sounds there.
Yuck. Well, and the
Yeah, right. Three sounds. Yeah, sorry. Bases loaded now for Atlanta here in the 10th. One out. Ozuna will step in. Riley's on deck. Duvall, Acuna Jr., and Swanson the base runners. A little tardy. Look out behind us. Estevez gets ahead of Ozuna.
Ozuna left 5 guys on base last night.
Chance to bounce back. 368 lifetime with the bases loaded. 6 grand slams. Off the glove of Diaz. Coming home is Duvall. The throw will get away. Atlanta has taken the lead.
Oh, man.
And again, given this weird, historic game at Coors Field, just the second time ever, a scoreless game in extra innings, waiting for the offense, that's how the first run comes home. With a pitch off the glove.
I mean, just way up there. This is what I was talking about. These are so tough to catch when they miss by that much, and coming 100 just right off the glove, and that's when it mattered.
Second wild pitch of the 10th. Scores the first run of the game. Ozuna does strike out.
And just, you know, it's coming out hot, just hasn't been locating it. But when he does, no one's really gotten a good swing off on him.
Acuna Jr. and Swanson also moved up on the wild pitch. So they're at second and third. And you had a feeling that was going to happen. Intentional walk, loads the bases. Bud Black will make a call to the Rocky bullpen. We'll introduce you when we come back here on Friday Night Baseball. Atlanta now leading 1-0. Matt Olson up with the bases loaded. I'm into it. Bud Black calling on the left-hander, the local kid, Lucas Gilbreth. .26 years old from Westminster, Colorado. Huge spot, left on left. Comes right at Olson with 94, tipped into the glove. So here in the top of the 10th, Atlanta scores first. Duvall came sliding in after a wild pitch from Estevez. Now Atlanta looking for some insurance.
You got to remember, the Rockies will start with the runner in scoring position as well, so it's a bit of a different inning.
If it stays this score, the winning run will begin at the plate. Acuna Jr. trying to mess with Gilbreth. Nobody holding him on third. Shot to left field. Acuna scores. Second run comes in. 3-0 Atlanta.
And Matt Olson just stays with this pitch, drives it the other way. He's hit a couple line drives the other way so far tonight. This one finds some grass. Big 2-out RBI knock. Four-seamer up, challenge, away. Long arms, take advantage of them, go with the pitch. And those low line drives the other way is just excellent hitting. It's a thing of beauty. Acuna's pumped.
I love it.
Dansby took, that pain. Took the hit for the team.
Olson has driven in 10 in his last 11 games. Some breathing room for the Brave bullpen. And you see, left on left, you get why the decision was made. He's done just fine.
And Contreras is one of the hottest hitters on the planet right now. 63 at bats, 7 homers, 1,095 OPS. You just can't find a spot for him. He's catching behind Darno. But man, we get to see a big at bat here.
Yeah, he started the conversation in his small sample size of work. Which Contreras do you send to LA for the All-Star game? With William in Atlanta and Wilson on the north side of Chicago. Takes ball 3. Kenley Jansen. Jesse Chavez, former teammate, Hunter.
Yes, indeed. The great Chavez.
Ball 4 to Contreras.
You could say he looked hitterish.
He does. Yeah, he has all year. And you have to remember, again, I was reminded of this talking to Kevin McAlpin of 680 The Fan in Atlanta. Like the year began with Atlanta planning for a catching duo of Darno and Manny Pena. Well, Pena's out for the year. And so Contreras having this kind of start to this season. A huge bonus, an unexpected bonus. As Albies takes ball 1 inside from Gilbreth. Bases loaded again after Contreras' walk.
He's banging as hard as he can on that door to get in. That's what you got to do sometimes when there's not a spot. They'll find you a place to play defense.
I think so.
Ozzie has 4 grand slams. Good stop by Diaz. There's another ball that would make it 4-0. We mentioned Ozzie likes to swing. And he let it rip on 3-1, fouled back.
Ozzie loves to hit. He's up there to hit. And I have to say that I understand, because I was a bad ball swinger. So the game gets real easy up here. I mean,
you knew you, and you did.
It's tough. It's tough.
Runners will go. Gilbreth strikes out Albies, but Atlanta ends this run of scoreless frames we've had on Friday Night Baseball. A crooked number. They intentionally walked Riley to get to Olsen. He made him pay. 3-0. Outs to the bottom of the 10th. Let's see how the Rockies respond in the bottom of the 10th after Atlanta scored 3 times. They do have some breathing room for Kenley Jansen, who is on to close. 12 saves in 15 opportunities. Now, for the good number of folks who left Coors Field after Matt Olson's bases loaded base hit, they must not know that Atlanta's got 10 blown saves. That's tied for 3rd most in Major League Baseball, behind Boston and Tampa Bay. It'll be Rogers, Daza, and Iglesias. And obviously this Rockies lineup plenty familiar with Kenley Jansen, given his career in Los Angeles. "20-game hitting streak also on the line here for Brendan Rodgers. C.J. Cron, in the last out, the bottom of the 9th, struck out. He is on second base as the runner. Two after the foul ball. Brendan Rodgers, now 25 years old. Rockies fans have been talking about him for a long time. 3rd overall pick in 2015 at a high school in Florida. Another example. There is no one path to the big leagues and big league success, no matter where you're taken. Kenley Jansen strikes him out. So that will end Brendan Rodgers' hitting streak at 20 games. Really an awesome run for the Rockies second baseman.
20-game hit streaks are extraordinary. Kenley Jansen that got that high cutter. And speaking of wild routes to the majors, he was a catcher.
Yeah. Tough out here in Daza.
I think he made the right decision going into pitching.
I would say it worked out. As Daza calls time, he also has a little streak. Could be in jeopardy here. As Daza is 0 for 3, hasn't been on base. Well, he's reached base safely in all 26 of his previous starts entering today. Contreras. Cron was not even thinking of third base there.
Yeah, and it's a different mentality down 3 versus if it's, you know, 1 run or no runs. You just want to be safe because your run doesn't mean that much. You have to get, you have to just make sure you're as safe as you possibly can.
Jansen is trademark set. Now the delivery on the 1-1. /foul. On a similar note to Freeman leaving Atlanta, Kenley Jansen leaving Los Angeles was something that surprised some people around the game, especially considering Craig Kimbrell was traded for same number that Jansen ultimately signed for with Atlanta. There's a base hit though from Daza. CJ Cron will be waved home. It's a 3-1 game.
Okay.
Told you Daza was a tough out. So he's going to bring the tying run to the plate.
And that's just a great swing, and I can see why Bud Black had the Placido Polanco, just the inside out. This is a top of the zone in, and he just takes a beautiful kind of inside out path. And once again, those low line drives the other way, you have to have a really great swing and be right on plane with the pitch. Look at the hand stay inside that baseball. It gets in on him, but that is a beautiful swing path.
Love the phantom cam slowing that down for us to see how we got the bat on the baseball. Iglesias with a pair of flyouts to center and a ground out to second tonight. First pitch breaks his bat. This could be two. Swanson goes to Albies, now to first. He's safe. So the Rockies stay alive.
What a hustle.
As Iglesias was busting it down the line.
Whew. Love to see that. Game on the line. Digging, digging. Stay alive. Let's watch this. Dansby and Ozzie have turned quite a few double plays in their day.
So now it's Ryan McMahon, who's given a 6-year, $70 million contract extension in March from Colorado. Runner will take off. Iglesias just going to take second base. No one was holding him.
Yeah, this is just no one's holding them. Yeah. They want to play defense because the only run that matters right now for the Braves is the runner at the plate. You don't want to give up your positioning.
It's Jansen who's gotten the better of McMahon when they faced each other. 1 for 8. He's the Rockies' third baseman. That one hit being a double. In Contreras, Jansen will conference.
In the second game of that doubleheader on Wednesday, McMahon had a 2-out, 3 RBI triple into that deep, deep part of center field. That would have been a home run
anywhere
in 29 of 30 MLB parks, but not here.
That's a long way, even with the help from altitude. The outer third. McMahon's last home run came on the 16th of May.
You getting cold?
Just a little high.
Just a bit high.
Says Tripp Gibson. Contreras held that there for a while. Wait, you sure?
That call could go either way.
Yep.
Jansen lives up there, and that ball just has a little cut. He's a master at that high cutter.
3 balls and a strike to McMahon. Swung through, strike 2.
Crowd's on their feet.
Those who have stayed, both fan bases in attendance at Coors Field. 1 strike left. Jansen and Contreras not on the same page. Strike 3! Kenley Jansen slams the door in the 10th, and Atlanta wins 3-1.
Absolute dynamite pitching performance from the Atlanta Braves. Good defense, good at bats, good pitching from both sides. But what a night at Coors Field.
Wild.
Wild, weird.
Wild and weird.
No homers. And look at this. Once again, just dots the top outside corner on McMahon and seals the victory for the Braves. Kenley Jansen's been doing it a long time, folks.
Bounces back after blowing a save on Tuesday in Arizona. It's time for tonight's SoFi Player of the Game, and I think you could probably guess. Max Fried, the starting pitcher for Atlanta. 8 innings of shutout baseball, gave up just 2 hits, walked just 1, struck out 4. But it wasn't just the punchies, it was, again, Fried showing off his ability, fielding his position, and showing why he's got gold gloves on his resume. Max Fried was outstanding.
Yeah, made even more impressive when you consider the fact that this is a Colorado team that's got 25 games with 10 hits entering today. That's leading in the MLB. They hit the ball, but they didn't tonight.
Yeah, it's an offense that's second in the league in OPS, which is one of my favorite offensive categories. So Max Fried shows why he's elite, and as you called him earlier, Stephen, a superstar.
Atlanta improves to 26-27. The Rockies fall to 23-29. Friday Night Baseball is back next week on Apple TV+. First at 8 Eastern, Minnesota hosts Tampa Bay. Then at 9:30, we'll be back in Southern California to watch the Angels and the Mets. Let's go. Hunter Pence, Katie Nolan, Heidi Watney, and our incredible crew. I say thanks for them. I'm Stephen Nelson. Stay tuned for post-game coverage on the Friday Night Baseball studio show presented by SoFi. Until next week, have a wonderful weekend.
0